It is a first managerial meeting between Simon Grayson and Sam Allardyce. Time to sit back and enjoy the opening game of this Super Sunday live championship football from Upton Park. It's West Ham against Leeds. Andy Hinchcliffe and Bill Leslie, your commentators.
I'll tell you what, there are not too many empty seats here at Upton Park. And a couple filled by those two, Fabio Capello and Sir Trevor Brooking, who've sighed their way through the Sunday London traffic from the Goals on Sunday studio. And Sam Allardyce was worried that Scott Parker might fade from England reckoning if he was playing in the Championship. And the England manager watching the West Ham midfielder among others here. First touch for Parker. Cole. Can't miss Leeds United, Andy, in this change-away strip with plenty of fluorescent trim.
Yeah, very interesting, isn't it? But I'm not surprised the big guns are here. This is arguably the biggest game in the Championship this season. West Ham Leeds, both serious title contenders.
It's a decent leap from Collison. You're absolutely right, it's got that big match feel about it. Leeds United always bring thousands with them, fill out their capacity, whatever division they're in. And the recent wins on the road for West Ham have certainly galvanised the support. There's been a big rush of ticket sales in the last few days, particularly that 4-0 win away at Watford, and the manner of it has finally got those doubters really believing that maybe Big Sam, that everything he brings with him might be the answer for West Ham this season.
It's always very difficult when you get relegated, that negativity. You need to try and clear that out of the way. They lost against Cardiff with their opening home game, but they've done well in recent matches, turned things around. The fans have got back on their side, and they really are a team to be feared when they play well.
Taylor back, doing a little bit of defending. And it came off Robert Snodgrass. Well, it's preconceptions as well that Sam Allardyce is battling. You can see signs everywhere, evidence everywhere of the so-called Academy of Football. Winning football is beautiful football, is what Sam Allardyce will tell you. And again, going back, Andy, to that win against Watford, they showed that it's not just going to be lump it and thump it that he's going to bring to this division.
That's maybe what West Ham fans were maybe worried about when he was first appointed. Very experienced manager. We've seen the jobs that he's done at Newcastle and Bolton, and maybe they thought the football will be a little bit too direct. It's not proved to be that. They are a side who are more than capable of getting it down on the floor.
Keogh. Parker in typically tenaciously. And away by Winston Reid. To Cole. Taylor. Looking for Nolan, and West Ham captain wins it back. Parker. Collison, just a loose touch. And now young Aidan White to come in and make the challenge and win the throw for Leeds.
Well, the Leeds central midfielders are going to have to work very, very hard with Noble, Nolan, Parker. If they dominate the game, if they get hold of the ball, dominate possession, they really are the heartbeat of this West Ham side. Leeds have got to try and disrupt that.
Well, you said earlier, Andy, about Premier League elements to this game, and that West Ham midfield, that's Premier League, isn't it?
It's as good as you're going to find in the Premier League, but Leeds are up against that this afternoon. They have to try and deal with it, they have to try and nullify it.
This man will be important, the homegrown captain, Howson. Keogh. And Tompkins, pass fit after that hamstring injury. Ilunga. And it's a results business, isn't it? And as you look at Leeds United's start, particularly the manner of their defeat at Southampton, which was desperately disappointing against one of the newly promoted clubs, in a first home defeat against Middlesbrough. Tight win in the Carling Cup at home that you might have seen with us on Sky against local rivals Bradford City. They badly needed the boost they got with their thumping win against Hull at home.
Yeah, they've certainly had some problems, Leeds, but in defence of Simon Grayson, he's lost Schmeichel and Johnson in the summer. He's had key strikers injured as well. He's lost 3 or 4 of them.
Here comes Nolan leading the charge for West Ham. West Ham who paid that price for not taking their chances here on day one against Cardiff. Looking to create one with that long throw over Lunga, and it's tipped over the top by Andy Lonergan.
Well, it's difficult for the keeper initially because the throw-in, he can't come and collect the throw-in from Ilunga, so he has to stay on his line. And once Cole gets a touch on it, which he invariably does, the keeper does well. Very athletic, good tip over.
Good lead by Tompkins, the scorer in the week. Very nearly at the weekend as well. Lonergan's been kept busy.
His goal against Watford, he headed the ball down into the ground and past the keeper. This one, he just can't get over it enough to head it down. So the keeper has a good view of this. It's a fairly comfortable save.
Taylor takes for West Ham. A beautifully whipped in ball. And it leads to an opening goal for West Ham. Carlton Cole.
It's a dream start for West Ham, but Simon Grayson and Leeds defensively just weren't at the races there. It's a wicked corner in, but Carlton Cole shouldn't be volleying this ball in hip height. If he towers above everybody and heads it in, that's one thing. But this ball is dropping. He just makes it easy. He gets to it first in front of the defender. It's an absolute dream start for the Hammers.
Well, he was one of the scorers, one of the West Ham four at Vicarage Road. It had ended his worst goal-scoring drought, a dozen games without a goal. He's back in business. And although it's only their second game here, they have their first goal. It brings celebration, it brings relief for West Ham United. Also brings plenty of concern for Leeds United. There was a problem towards the end of last season for Leeds, and even with different personnel, it's been a problem at the start of this. The lack of clean sheets. It's their fifth game, and they're yet to keep one. Always makes life that little bit harder. Reed. Here's Parker. Loose touch from Taylor. O'B's header. Tompkins, I'm sure, will tell you, he knew exactly where Andy Keogh was.
Well, Simon Grayson has to get a message onto his players just to try and keep calm. Concede an early goal like that, you don't want to concede a second. The game could be beyond you after 10 minutes. As Cole puts that ball in the net, the Leeds manager has to work hard, get his players to listen to his instructions.
Keogh combining with McCormack. Seeking Gradle, back in the side after suspension, along with Johnny Howson. And both sides came into this looking to pick up where they left off after their midweek games. Only one has managed to do so. It's the one wearing claret and blue. Winston Reid going through the back of McCormack.
The Leeds just need this break in the game just to get themselves set up, get their shape back again, get the ball on the floor, start knocking it around. They've really had very little possession in the opening 8 or 9 minutes. This time have certainly started the better.
We know that he's had problems with injuries at both ends of the field, Simon Grayson, and continuity in team selection this season, but he'll still be disappointed at being unpicked from a corner.
The managers are very keen to try and pick up and put out a regular side, a consistent side, but you're right, he'll be absolutely furious to the way that this goal has gone in, the way that Carlton Cole steals in front of Tom Lees, I think it is, who's alongside him. Normally when you're defending against Carlton Cole, you expect the ball to land on his head. Once this ball dips, Tom Lees has got to be stronger, he's got to be in front of Carlton Cole, who just makes the ball his. He makes a good contact with the outside of that right foot to turn it into net, but the defender really has got to get his body in the way of the attacker.
Gradle comes back, just gets a toe in ahead of Noble. Read there to meet it. Here's Adam Clayton. He was the man of the match in that win against Hull. Purposeful run here from Clayton. Gradle. And a touch from Green. A corner for Leeds.
Well, Gradle was running out of pitch. He's just looking really to turn this into the 6-yard box. But Leeds, when they get the ball on the floor and West Ham back off, they are dangerous, and Gradle's just looking to keep that alive. Not sure whether it would have dropped over Rob Green. Maybe it would. The keeper did well just to get a touch.
Snodgrass goes deep with his corner. Green got just about enough on it. West Ham goalkeeper, I'm sure another that Fabio Capello will be keeping an eye on ahead of up-and-coming qualifiers early next month. Clayton. Out by Reed. Taylor. Snodgrass picking up the pieces here. There's plenty of claret and blue around him. Clayton for Keogh. The deflection takes it wide. Well, Leeds are mustering a response here.
Well, they have. They responded well since going behind. They started to get their foot on the ball. They started to play the ball in behind that West Ham defence. He's definitely onside there, Keogh. He's looking to feed it into the box. So many West Ham defenders back though.
Norbo and O'D both up from the back. A little bit of a ballast to the attack. And it's fired just wide by Keogh.
Carlton Cole is a lucky lad. He's the first man, the first defender for West Ham. He just completely misses this ball, puts his team under serious pressure, but it's always going wide. The shot in the end, Rob Green has it covered as well.
Took a deflection, so Leeds have this corner again. Good angle on that one. Slipped just at the crucial moment by O'D and fizzed in and off the woodwork. Snodgrass puts his head in his hands.
Robert Snodgrass more than capable of scoring spectacular goals, and once this ball sits up for him, he's always going to strike it. Great pressure from Leeds. And when it bounces nicely for Snodgrass, great connection, keeper nowhere near this. And West Ham are lucky to still be one ahead.
He scored in the week in what was his 150th appearance for Leeds, the now regular Scottish international Robert Snodgrass. McCormack. Taylor. Cole. Leeds midfielders buzzing around him. Here comes Keogh. There's the flag.
There's a couple of instances now, ball's been played up to Carlton Cole, being the focal point, the lone striker. He needs to get hold of the ball. Leeds are doing well, just getting in and around him, winning the ball back, and looking to release Keogh straight down the other end. He's just knocked down the touchline. Does the ball just drift out of play? And the referee's assistant's very, very close to it. Eventually the flag goes up. Really close call though.
The whole of the ball has to be over the line, of course. O'D. Rob Green's jersey there is grey with fluorescent yellow trim. Very similar to the Leeds outfield players, and that's a bit of concern with the fourth official, who's busying himself to clarify that situation down below us.
There's those neon strips on the jerseys. If there's a corner goes in there, there's a big crowd scene. Very difficult for the officials maybe to pick up which one's Rob Green and which one's maybe a Leeds player.
Nolan. Parker. Back-to-back clean sheets for Rob Green in recent months and seasons. That's been a rarity for him. Here's Parker. Ilunga. A quarter of an hour played here, Andy, and the early goal for West Ham United so important. We had Big Sam in his interview with Patrick Davison beforehand talk about the fact that the home crowd here is so important to win over, especially after that opening day defeat against Cardiff.
Yeah, it's been pretty even, Stephen, in the opening 15 minutes, but as we've seen with his sides at Newcastle and Bolton, set pieces are vitally important. To be pleased his team will score from that. On the flip side, Simon Grayson will say, we've been in this game, we've had a couple of opportunities, but you go to sleep against a decent side and you can be punished.
6 goals scored, the second for Carlton goal for West Ham this season. 5 different players have got them. That's also a tonic for any manager. Nolan, who got the winner up at Doncaster, putting pressure on OD, and it's another West Ham corner.
It's a little bit sloppy from Darren O'D. He's first to the ball. Kevin Nolan running out of steam, chasing a lost cause. And Nolan, I think, will settle for a corner from that situation.
Another lone season in English football for Darren O'D from Celtic. Taylor's corner. Oh, there was definitely some sharp pulling inside the penalty area there. Tompkins involved. There's Kisnorbo, who had a hold of his shirt. Here comes Gradle now for Leeds United. This is a lovely run. Tompkins on his way back makes the challenge. Advantage played here. Just won't come through the Snodgrass. Noble there to tidy up and find Parker.
Just an example of what Max Gradle can really give to a team on the counter-attack. There's a coming together, Tompkins and Kisnorbo. To me, Tompkins went down very theatrically. The ball was over his head. Seems to be looking for the penalty.
The letter of the law would dictate that if you have hold of another player's shirt, you run the risk of being penalised. Tompkins in the other penalty area, just stealing it away.
And we get another look at it. Tompkins and Kisnorbo matching up both players. You see this so often. It certainly is a tug of the shirt. The referee's got a very good look at that. He feels that Tompkins really has thrown himself. There wasn't a foul previous to that.
Remember, he's breathing a little deeply. He made his way back and made that very important challenge as well to snuff out the Leeds attack, and had been ignited by Gradle. A lot of talk in Simon Grayson's pre-match press conference towards the end of last week about Gradle. More on that in a moment. Here's McCormack. And about the fact that West Ham had been making bids for Max Gradle. How would he respond here? Play for the shirt. The Leeds shirt was the message from the manager. The only portents are good in that respect, as far as the Yorkshire side are concerned. He's one of the assembled company to get on the end of this Snodgrass corner. Collison the most advanced here for West Ham.
Continuing a goal from the set pieces. Managers really do hate, but their response from Leeds has been excellent. You can see there they've kept the ball really well. They've got hold of it. And they're starting to create a few opportunities as well. So the Leeds manager will be a slightly happier man now.
Tom Lees. Homegrown player. Spent last season on loan at Bury and helped them in their promotion push because of the injuries at the back. Aidan White, who was on loan at Oldham last season, another academy graduate, and forced into action. 4 different left-backs in 4 different games this season, 3 different central defensive pairings in the 4 games for 4 today. About as far from a settled defence as you can get. It's been for Leeds so far.
Yeah, still trying to get that understanding between players, young players as well, coming into the side. Great experience for them to play regularly in the Championship, but the manager, I'm sure, would probably want to take them out the firing line.
Ilunga. Taylor. Nolan.
It's a fairly comfortable save, really, for Andy Lonergan. Big goalkeeper, with a big reach as well. Good football on the floor from West Ham. Opens up nicely for Noble. The idea's right. It's got to be really right in the top corner to beat Lonergan from there.
Keogh brings a wonderful endeavour, whoever he plays for. All started off for him at Leeds before he struck up that wonderful understanding at Scunthorpe with Billy Sharp.
It's been a really exciting opening 20 minutes or so. Both teams keen to go forward, have shots at goals as hitting the target. That's the important thing. West Ham are done much better in that regard with the efforts they've had so far.
Well, a lot's changed since the last time a Leeds United side came to this part of East London on league business 6 years ago. Leeds got a draw, a 90th minute penalty from David Healy, levelled out a Luke Chadwick goal for West Ham. Kevin Blackwell, then the manager at Leeds. Alan Pardew was the season he took West Ham to the playoffs and the playoff win against Preston. Last season they played outside the top flight before this one. Took them 2 seasons to bounce back that time. And many people fancy them. It won't take that long this time round. Cole. Here's Taylor. Just too high for Nolan. She'll stay in. It's Collison. Now Noble. Taylor. Ilunga. Nolan. Oh, nearly got it through the legs of Lees. Snodgrass gives Keogh a chase.
It's West Ham's turn to play some decent football. Their 2 fullbacks are very keen to get forward, West Ham. They've got to be careful. As we saw there, lose possession very quickly. Leeds break down the other end with a willing Andy Keogh running onto any forward balls.
Clayton. Aidan White for Gradle. Well done, dived in rather. And Tompkins can come over on the cover. O'Brien away. Touched on by Clayton. There's Reed.
He's not seriously injured. Matt Taylor does well to take this ball under control, and then as he tries to clear it, doesn't get a knock on the back of the head. Seems so.
Norbo's header. Clayton. Howson. Gradle. Almost left it behind him, but here he comes now. Aidan White. Decent block by Collison, wasn't it? Now Clayton. Into McCormack.
See how worried West Ham about Max Gradle down that left-hand side. Collison actually playing as a secondary right-back all the way back with the winger.
Nolan. It's easy to forget that before the championship season with Newcastle, he was having a really barren spell in front of goal Kevin Nolan. Some 18 months without a goal. Here's Taylor, who's capable of the spectacular. Not this time. And he knows if his side can hold on at the back and get that third consecutive clean sheet, then they'll get their third consecutive win. We heard him call it that 9-point week. Quite some response to the opening day setback. Back in action quickly here on Wednesday night against Aldershot. Postponed Carling Cup tie. And you'll see them with us again next weekend at Nottingham Forest. Steve McLaren's side, who came back against the fellow pre-season favourites Leicester yesterday. Here's Ilunga. Nolan.
We talked about the West Ham fullbacks looking to get forward. Ilunga, certainly there, powerful run to me. He seemed to be blocked off, trying to play a little 1-2. And was just blocked off, but the referee let the game go.
And the pressure applied by Keogh. Forced Reed into surrendering a corner.
Andy Lonergan is very keen to get that long ball up towards his two centre-forwards, puts lots of height on it. Difficult for Winston Reid to just judge where that ball's going to come down, and he makes a bit of a mess of it.
Snodgrass pulls rank. Gradle pulls away. O'Dea nearly got that, might fall for Keogh.
On a couple of occasions when balls have just dropped into the near post, which West Ham should be dealing with fairly comfortably. There's enough defenders back there, they're just getting each other's way.
Significant contributions at both ends from Carlton Cole from corners. Goes for the overhead, but he's given the penalty, has he, Michael Oliver, for shirt pulling? Bewildered look on the board of the West Ham players. Maybe he spotted a hand in there.
I'm sure there's a handball. Sure, it's Matt Taylor. The right arm comes out. He's complaining, Taylor, that his shirt was pulled. As this ball is flicked on, puts the right arm out, it comes. It's a definite handball. And to me, that's a penalty. Why on earth he's sticking out that right arm? There's no need for it. It does catch him. Leeds have got a big chance to get back in the game now.
Good spot by the referee. Now Gradle, who scored a penalty on the opening day against Southampton. Misses here at Upton Park.
Well, he was certainly confident enough as he strode up to take the penalty. He knew exactly what he was going to do. Try and drive it into that bottom right-hand corner. Rob Green had read it, but that is well wide, actually. He's put so much pace on it that you've got to hit the target. That's a good yard past the post. Poor penalty.
Delight among the West Ham United fans, understandably. Exasperation coming from the Leeds United bench. He'd responded so well to that early setback, created chances, and it was the pressure that led to the penalty kick.
There's narrow margins in this league, though. You concede from a set piece and then you're gifted a penalty and you miss it. You just wouldn't have come the end of the game. Could Max Gradle really regret throwing that ball past the post?
O'Dea. Carlton Cole the target, and O'Dea got his head to it. Howson. Strong challenge by Clayton on Parker.
We should see how the referee views this one. Scott Parker, shake of the head, he's up, he's okay, which is the important thing. Michael Oliver, maybe it's just a word. There's a lucky boy, Adam Clayton, with no Michael Brown in the side. Adam Clayton's in the team to try and break up the West Ham fluency. Just goes a little bit too strong here and catches Parker on the ankle. I've seen players sent off for worse than that.
Well, Carlton Cole is saying to the referee he felt he was being held by Kisnorbo. You can hear what the West Ham supporters thought of it as well.
There's going to be physical battles. Kisnorbo is really going to go up against Carlton Cole every time a long ball is played up towards the centre forward, and the referee, I think, has to accept that there's going to be a bit of pushing and shoving between those two.
Cole has got there ahead of Kisnorbo this time. Carlton Cole, down he goes, no penalty. Well, someone lost a boot on the run out there. I think it was Carlton Cole, who was closing in on goal, wearing just one boot.
As we saw with the goal, his appreciation of what's happening was excellent from Carlton Cole. He drives in, it's Aidan White at his back. Is there a nudge? Is it shoulder to shoulder? Carlton Cole again, has he maybe just lost his impetus and maybe looking for the penalty more than being fouled, but he's certainly in behind the Leeds defence. The left-back White does well to get back. There's a little bit of a nudge. The ball is well away from Aidan White. If the referee had pointed to the spot, it wouldn't have surprised me. So get a good view, the referee's view of this. He sees two players go in. He's not maybe sure about the contact between White and Cole. That's the only reason I can see why he hasn't given a penalty. Gradle!
Well, that was a wonderful effort from range from Max Gradle, looking to make amends from the miss from much closer.
It's end-to-end stuff, and Max Gradle, it's a really good strike. It's a comfortable height for Rob Green, actually. Decent save. That's a save that the keeper would expect to make, but Gradle, you're right, trying to make up for that poor penalty.
Defended by Winston Reid. Here's Gradle. Howson. Clayton. Lees. Just a little bit of pulling back there by Keogh.
This could be a really big moment in the game. Carlton Cole powering into the penalty area, left-back chasing him back. Certainly doesn't make contact with the ball, Aidan White. And possibly catches Carlton Cole's heel there, just that right leg. There is contact, and normally you see referees give penalties for that.
O'Brien. Carlton Cole. White. Well, Carlton Cole maybe letting his frustrations get the better of him and taking it out on the referee's assistant. We all know what that can potentially lead to.
He's got his goal, hasn't he? It's just the frustration. He feels he should be getting a penalty when he broke into the area. That's why he's so frustrated here. That's why he takes out his frustrations. There's nothing in that at all. It isn't a West Ham ball. He just berates the referee's assistant. And that's why the assistant calls across the ref to have a word with Carlton Cole. Absolutely right.
He's still keeping his cards in his pockets, though, Michael Oliver. O'Brien. He's out of the way by Kisnorbo. Well, there are plenty of Bolton connections here, including Joey O'Brien getting forward there. Bolton connection on Super Sunday this afternoon. Manchester City, the visitors to the Reebok. 3:30 Sky Sports HD1. Monday Night Football, Manchester United against Tottenham from 7 o'clock, Sky Sports HD1, and also available in Sky 3D. McCormack for Leeds United, trailing to that early Carlton Cole goal. Gradle. Snodgrass just wouldn't sit for him. But it's still alive, it's with Leeds. Gradle. Beautiful ball from Gradle. Did Rob Green get a hand on that to take it off Keogh's head? I think he did.
It's a fabulous ball in from Max Gradle. He's come over to this right-hand side. This is a wonderful ball in. The keeper just maybe gets fingertips. Tompkins is there as well. Just takes it off the head of Andy Keogh.
Kisnorbo. We often hear the old adage trotted out about like a new signing when a player's been out for a long time injured. Just one game, and that was right at the end of last season for Patrick Kisnorbo. He certainly welcomed his return from that long-standing Achilles injury. Head injury, so the referee's letting treatment come on.
It's really sensible for Michael Oliver. There's a tangle between O'Dea and Carlton Cole. He just seems to get spun. Not sure whether he lands awkwardly or whether he just gets just an elbow, that left elbow, and then he lands awkwardly, collides with Cole as well. And the referee really did well to stop the game. He has to when a player goes down like this.
Contact with the arm of Carlton Cole with some force, and when he hit the deck it was with some force as well.
The problem you have is when you jump for a ball like that, you expect to maybe win it or not, but certainly you know how you're going to land. When you get spun, when you're out of control, that's when you can get serious injuries. And this is what happens here. Eyes on the ball, both players. Nothing really too much wrong in that from Carlton Cole. It's just that he rides on the back of the attacker, O'Dea, and then lands and cracks his head on the turf.
The lack of resources that Leeds have at the moment because of all their injuries. Another one is not what they need. Lee Bromby, who came into the side recently, he's out with an injury. Ben Parker, who's had a history of injury problems, is nursing another one at the moment. That's just in the defensive areas. Up at the other end, you look at Billy Painter, last season's top scorer Luciano Becchio. They just can't get him over that hamstring problem, which disrupted the end of last season. And David Sommer, who had an impressive time at Leeds last year as well, he's out. There are always mitigating circumstances when clubs are having a sticky patch, aren't there?
The striking option so important if you are to try and gain promotion. Simon Grayson will want Sommer, Becchio or Painter fit. They need players like that for the majority of the season if you are to mount a serious challenge to gain promotion to the Premier League.
The manager has always said it's not just about acquisitions, it's about holding on to what we've got. We've said already how Gradle is coveted by West Ham, among others. Plenty of clubs from the Premier League have been looking at Robert Snodgrass as well. Taylor left it behind Alunga. Keogh. White. Here's Howson. D. Seems to be okay. A decent enough ball to Gradle. Did well to control it as well.
They switch the two wide men around. Snodgrass now on the left, Gradle down this right-hand side to have a run at Ilunga. Great bit of touch there to get that ball down. Difficult ball to control from Gradle. Did really well.
In high by Leeds, out by Reed, McCormack. The call from the keeper and the claim from Rob Green. Still wearing that same goalkeeping top. I imagine he'll be asked to change it at half-time. Ilunga. Pressure applied to Clayton by Noble.
There really are two combative midfielders, Clayton and Noble. No surprise that they're nibbling away at each other here. Clayton does well, he's in a real corner. He's hoping the challenge maybe comes in from Noble and he can get the free kick and clear his lines.
And Leeds may be trailing inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. They may have missed a golden opportunity from the penalty spot to level it up. There's plenty of causes for optimism for Simon Grayson, particularly when you think of what happened to his side on the opening day when they went behind away to Southampton. Good industry from Gradle, tracking all the way back. The West Ham have it back. Taylor. Parker. Ilunga. Reed.
Well, Sam Allardyce has been around long enough to know that 1-0 in any league is never good enough. It's not going to see you all the way through to 3 points. And from what we've seen in this first half from Leeds, missing that penalty, he'll say to his players that the game is far from over. We maybe should have had a penalty ourselves, but Simon Grayson, a few positives for him to jot down there.
Parker. Ilunga. Tompkins, good leap, pressurised by Snodgrass. Noble. He's left well against Cole. But here is West Ham's goal scorer. Taylor. Noble. Cole.
It's much better football from West Ham, but having Carlton Cole, your centre forward, wide on the left, crossing the ball in towards Collison, they don't need that. They need it the other way round. He needs to be right on the penalty spot, looking for the ball onto his head.
Well, every manager loves competition for places, don't they? John Carew's arrival, albeit in the autumn years of his career, the Norwegian international. He's on the West Ham bench. Frederic Piquillon. All available for Sam Allardyce to call on as the afternoon goes on. And Gradle's down here.
It's a really clever piece of play. Again, great piece of control to get the ball under his spell. Then he goes past Ilunga. He just snaps back at him. There's a couple of West Ham players there. Just maybe a trip. Didn't seem too serious. Gradle, you can see the frustrations as he beats the ground after he's knocked over.
Snodgrass. O'Brien got his head to it. It'll be a corner for Leeds.
A magnificent defensive header from Joey O'Brien. That's a wonderful ball in from Snodgrass in between the West Ham defenders and goalkeeper, and Joey O'Brien did well just to flick that on.
There's too much on it for Kisnorbo. Here's Gradle. Detailed 3 to stop him initially. The deflection. As that Green can claim comfortably. Of added time. It's a first half, Andy, that's ebbed and flowed very entertainingly.
It certainly has. What we expected. Both sides very keen to go forward, create opportunities, and Leeds will probably feel a little bit hard done by. They've been in the game in terms of possession, chances created. That penalty miss, that really could cost them dearly.
Well, that's unlucky. Parker stolen with a wonderful challenge on the edge of the box, but trying to maintain the possession, nearly won by Parker. Cole committed the foul.
Plenty of decent football, also some thunderous challenges as well. There's one from Scott Parker. You can't really argue with his willingness to work for the West Ham cause. That's a great tackle.
Nelson, now Snodgrass. Tom Lees. There's Taylor. Nolan. Collison. Nolan. Was a lovely sweeping West Ham move. Gradle. These final exchanges bode well for the second half to come, don't they? Fine margins in the first half. Carlton Cole took his chance from a West Ham corner to give the Hammers the lead. Max Gradle didn't take his from the penalty spot. Half-time, West Ham 1, Leeds 0.